So this is the first video for my new channel, and this channel is going to be mainly focusing on social dynamics, relationships and personal healing. And the biggest number one anti-attractiveness quality from delving into this kind of realm, the social realm, over the last 7 to 8 months is having a high excessive degree of neediness. So this is where, if someone doesn't reply to you in a matter of 2 minutes, you send this bombarding level of text where you send, if they put one answer, you put 10,000 back. If they don't reply to you within half a second, you send a ton of text back thinking there's something wrong. It might be that once you found someone you really like, you put this enormous amount of pressure and you start fantasizing having kids and being their wife, having them as your wife or husband or whatever it is, and you put a tremendous amount of pressure for them to like you, and you end up doing loads of things for them, and you end up thinking about them all the time and dropping your own priorities, after only meeting them for so long. And it comes from a deep insecurity that you're not enough, and that you have this kind of almost pathological level of loneliness. You see this especially in a lot of guys where they see a girl they really like, and then they put this enormous amount of pressure on that girl, and this girl just instantly gets turned off. She can see straight through that he is trying to get something from her, by being excessively nice or being excessively accommodating or not challenging enough. And people can see straight through the facade because it breaks your transparency. When you have that high degree of neediness, you need that other person to act a certain way for you to feel okay. You have to have them around all the time, and in the end, it doesn't really constitute to having a very healthy identity. It becomes almost like this symbiotic relationship with someone else, and I think it really actually stems from, not to get all neo-Freudian again, a lot of times I like to be, look at it from the kind of point of origin of our life, looking at the family of origin work. And with, if you've come from a very dysfunctional family where you weren't given unconditional love, when you had structure in place and firm boundaries given to you and stuff like that, the love you got from your parents becomes the very love you give yourself. And over time, if you had a very healthy childhood, you'll have a high level of self-esteem, high level of self-confidence. So now that will transcend then into your adult state. If you've been kind of in this emotional starvation for most of your life, and your family didn't really give you the love you need when you needed it, for the most part, then you'll have a high degree of neediness. And you'll need a lot of validation from outside sources. You see this manifest in many ways, like I've said about the over-texting, over-calling. And it might be that you're terrified to end a relationship because you realize you won't get your needs met. Even though that person is highly toxic and venomous, you will stay in the relationship because you feel too lonely to be on your own again. And it can be this toxic cycle. Another way people do this, high degree of neediness, is when they take excessive amounts of selfies in a day. They need that outside validation to make them feel okay. Another place that neediness might come in is through supplication, like this kind of begging and pleasing behavior unnecessarily. That it's okay to please someone, but it's not coming from the pleaser frame. It's not coming from this excessive amount. You know when to cut it off. You know when to strategically use your kindness. So again, we're trying to look at this from an aspect that it is a multifaceted thing, neediness. But oftentimes it comes from this almost scarcity mindset, that if you see someone you like and you dump all this neediness on them, that I need you I need you in my life, I need you can't leave me, I need you to feel whole and complete. If you're seeking your completeness through someone else, again, it puts this enormous amount of pressure on them to accommodate to your needs, and then they can't live their own life and stuff like this, and people just hate it. As opposed to coming from this abundance mindset, realizing that if this person doesn't like me, there's 7 other billion people on planet Earth I can choose from and potentially start a relationship with. I don't need this one person to like me. I don't need to dump all this neediness on them. I can generate my own self-esteem. So if they don't like me, I've still got my own supply to run off. And oftentimes people are running on empty reserves. Their kind of self-love tank is kind of obsolete. It hasn't been in use for a long time. And oftentimes we get a bit lazy with our own self-esteem and rely on others a little bit too much for reassurance. So, a good way to kill that neediness, again, provide yourself with your own self-love. Primarily, self-love being that is that it's the only type of love that you can get from yourself. No other person can replace that. Again, having a kind of solid social circle that you can have fun with, healthy banter with, and also as well that you realize that you're not acting like someone's partner before they are your partner. And it's realizing that they have their own life, you have your own life. A big thing from a guy's angle, if I can just say this as well, is not to make the girl your purpose. You get on with your own purpose. That's your handrail in times of adversity and stuff like that. That's the thing you lean on. You don't lean on the girl to help you out. It's only a bonus. Everything outside yourself is a bonus. You should have that kind of sense within yourself that you have a deep admiration for your own capabilities, your own level of uniqueness. You're honoring yourself as you are. It's really the essence of total self-acceptance. You have that confidence to walk away with someone if they don't like you. You realize that it's not that important. There's 7 other billion people on planet Earth you can choose from to have friendships with, intimate relationships with. But the core relationship for every other relationship, that kind of point of origin for every other social circle, is actually your intrapersonal relationship, meaning intra in Latin meaning within. So your relationship with yourself, that self-to-self, heart-to-heart relationship you have. So hope you've enjoyed that. If you want to kill that neediness, like I said, try and focus on building your own self-love, investing in social circles, and kind of having that abundance mindset, that frame where there's 7 other billion people on planet Earth to choose from. You don't have to be so dependent on one person to provide you with your needs and stuff like that. Provide your own needs, seek healthy people, and hope you enjoyed that. Share this video, like this video, and I'll speak to you soon. Thank you.